So you have Python and you have MongoDB. What these bad boys are doing alone, let them play together. What's up, ladies and gentlemen, this is Anurag and you are watching Think Wild. So it's pretty clear what we are going to do today from the intro and the title. So let's do it. So fire up your favorite code editor and we're gonna start right away from installing the required module. So I'm gonna do pip install pymongo. So the requirement is already satisfied for me because I've already installed, and after you have installed it we can go ahead and use this module. So we're going to import this module by from pymongo import a mongo client. So remember the M and C is capital. So we're gonna create a simple function which queries the running MongoDB database. So I'm gonna name this function as query db. No argument is passed. We can pass the argument some coming from front end or some another script you want to filter the data on some field, or you just want to fetch few records for that. So we're gonna create a client object. I'm gonna name it as client. So using Mongo client we will create a Mongo client object, and we need to pass two arguments where your system is, where this server is running. So for me it's localhost, and I'm gonna pass a default port number that is 27017. So it will give me a client object. Using that client object I'm gonna create a database object. So use client client and pass the database name. The database name is actually I'll share the database I'm using. Right now I'm giving just the name as userdb, and using this database client I'm going to create a collection object. So collection are nothing but tables in NoSQL domain. So I'm gonna name it as table, and using this database object I will pass the name of table as inventory. Yes, I have this table in my database, sample database, and let's get rid of this stray bracket. So let's create a result and fetch. So what's the command is, like, we give the table name dot find. This is a standard API provided by this Pymongo module. So it's take few arguments, but we are going to use only those two argument. First is for filtering the records, like it's like a where conditions if you come from SQL domain. So I don't want to filter records on some condition or some situation. So I'm gonna leave it empty, leave it blank. And second argument is actually the fields you want to fetch. If you want to fetch all the fields, like fields or columns, we'll leave it empty. So let's see. Then I'm gonna return this return result. Okay, so our function is done. That's all. Mostly the code to client, and rest of the things will be like, we'll run this function in the print statement. So print query db, and we'll run and see. We'll try to run it. So we'll go to Python API py. We have a cursor object with us. So let's try to create a list out of it, because this object is not much of use for us. So I'll pass this object into a list and then try to run it. So yeah, it's taking too much time. That means my server is down. So how we can start a MongoDB server on database on Linux? We're gonna go to terminal and we're gonna go sudo system ctl start MongoDB. So it will ask me password. If nothing shows up, that means the server is up and running. But you can also check the status by running systemctl status MongoDB. Oh yeah, so it's coming green dot. That means the database server is running. Hit Q to get out of this log. And I want to show you some GUI that is provided by Mongo. Its name is Mongo Compass. So it provides a GUI way to connect to our database. So let's see, have a look on this, and have a look on our table structure. So yeah, this provides us few ways to connect to database. Like if you have a connection string, you can give it here. And if you want to have a fields like manual fields, you can go up here. So I'm gonna connect to my local instance of my MongoDB, and let's try to connect. So yes, I was talking about the UserDB database. So this is a database we used in our code, UserDB, and this was my collection name. So as we can see here, inside that database I have an inventory collection. So we have ID here, item, quantity, size, and status, like this kind of stuff. We have a fields. We have 5 fields, and this size is in itself is a complex object. So let's see, our database is up and running. So we'll try to run this file again. Yeah, so we can, as you can see, we have fetch the records. So now let's say if you want to get just a specific field like item. So we're gonna pass this item as item, and the value is 0 or 1. If it is 1, it is included in the fetch query, and if it is 0, it's not included. So as you can see, we have an item in our returned object. So if let's say I do not want this ID to appear up here, so I'll make it 0. So how we can do that is underscore ID and make it 0. So by doing this, we will suppress this ID object from the return result. So as you can see, we have only the items. So this is how we can connect Python from MongoDB. This code is pretty simple and just have 10 lines. I hope you enjoyed and learned something new, and stay tuned for to get some more beautiful code. Thanks for watching.